Hey guys, Joe at Small Home Off Grid Prepping. Welcome to our channel. So yeah, you see here we had a solar meltdown on this thing, and I'll get into this in a second, exactly what happened here and all that. But this actually happened a few weeks ago, right before Hurricane Irma. I've just been quite tied up on a lot of different things. For one, my wife went to go visit my daughter and our new grandbaby. She was there for about 3 weeks. I had to stay here to take care of the homestead and take care of all our chickens and animals and stuff like that. So she took the camera with her. If you guys follow this channel, you know my wife is V from V's Cooking with Love. And she took the camera, and her computer has all our editing programs in it and all that. So they were going to be cooking up a storm out there and making a bunch of videos, but they got tied up. She did release one video. I don't remember what was on, but we'll include a link down here on the bottom. She's releasing one this weekend. She just made some incredible chocolate chip cookies. I just had 2 of them. They're incredible. But the other thing that's been tying us up is, again, if you guys follow us, you know that we have a lot of e-commerce businesses. At this point, we carry over 400 different products. And again, we'll include a link. The easiest way, because we have different stores, is we include a link to our website. And just go to our website. You'll have to copy and paste that link in your browser. YouTube, until a channel hits a certain point, doesn't allow them to have highlighted links, so our links aren't highlighted yet, but you could copy and paste it in your browser. It'll take you to our website, and you see a bunch of different products, and then you just click on the product you like, and it takes you to the correct store. It'll take you to our Etsy store, our eBay store. Our V's Cooking with Love store has just gone international, so for our viewers out there in different countries, our products are now available in over 200 different countries. I mean, I can't even name the countries. There's a lot of them, but including Poland, for our viewers over in Poland. You guys know my wife is Polish. She has a lot of friends out here. So our products are available in Poland and stuff like that. The only thing I don't know is I'll include a link to our American store. With over 200 countries, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have one link for everything, or I have to have different links. I really don't know. So that's what's been tying us up out there too. So I'll include a link, and you guys know we have some really great products out there. We just put a bunch of jewelry out there on V's Cooking with Love, and perfumes and different things. Our Etsy store has a now handmade category with handmade oil paintings and a bunch of handmade stuff. So we'll include the links. Check it out, guys. But what happened here, let me explain what happened. You see here, if you guys remember, where you now see these 2 fuses down over here, these 2 breakers, I should say, over here, we used to have this one fuse, okay, and the power came into, both charge controllers came into this one fuse over here, but you see what happened. You see this thing melted down. And I'm going to go through all the steps, everything, what I did to diagnose it and all that. And you see this was the other part that goes into it. And you see this is the fuse. This is a 40 amp, but we were using an 80 amp. This holder here, the fuse holder down here, is rated at 100 amps. So these come with a 100 amp fuse. And you see down over here, this is some extra fuses that I bought. And you see it comes at 150 amp, 280 amps, and 100 amp. Okay, so this thing burned up. But as you see here, to pay close attention, because I'm going to ask you guys here, I'm going to make another video next week. I'm going to go through my entire system here. I know I did one on that, but last time I did one on that, we weren't all set up like this. We didn't have everything. And you guys know I'm all about options, okay? And you remember the video, I put this transfer switch in over here, connects to this disconnect. Alright, so as far as options go, I've now given myself a lot of different options. I can run my house entirely on power from the power company if I want to. I can run it half on power from the power company and half on solar. I can run it 100% on solar. I can run it half on power from the power company, half on generator. I can run it all on generator, or I can run it half on solar, half on generator. So I've given myself a lot of different options here. So I'm going to go through all those options. I'll make a video next week. But what I was getting to is I'm going to ask you guys here, and this is really going to come down to some more experienced electricians, because though what happened is extremely simple, you do have to understand electric in order to have been able to diagnose this. So I will give you the answer. Tell me what you guys think happened, why this thing melted down here, and I'm going to go through all the diagnostics of the system so you guys have a little bit more of an educated guess when you make a guess on this thing here. And next week when I make that video, I'll give you the answer at the beginning of the video, exactly what happened here, because I've diagnosed it. I know what the problem is. So I'll tell you exactly what happened. You guys know that with this new setup, all I have to do in order to kick on my solar is to pull out this disconnect right here, and it automatically will cut off the power company's power to the transfer panel, and it turns on the solar. Alright, so I come out one day, and usually, as you see here, I just keep these things. Right now I'm not running anything, and my batteries are fully charged. So it's about 12:30 in the afternoon, and you see I'm not really putting anything out. This one a little bit more, but not so much more. It's just kind of maintaining the charge, what it's taken from the charge controllers here. But usually, as you see here, I keep this on the amperage, so I know what the amperage is that I'm pulling. One of these I had on the battery percentage, which you guys can't watch battery percentage on this, because as you pull a load on it, that percentage will drop down. If you truly wanted to know what your battery percentage is, they do make a device that will tell you that, what it is. But in this case here, what I would have to do is I actually just have to turn off the breakers, let the batteries equalize a little bit, and it tells me what's in my batteries. So by watching this while everything is charging and running and all that, my battery percentage is not really telling me a lot. This is why I don't have it on when I'm running this. But in this case, I had it on, and I come out and I look at it one day, and usually, even if it's 100% charge, when there's a load on here, it's not going to show 100%. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, 100%. I'm like, well, I know I'm not pulling that much right now, you know. So I'm like, maybe that's, you know, the case. What it is, it's 100%. So I come back out like 2-3 hours later and look, it's still 100%. I'm like, something's not right over there. So I come and I turn off the breakers here, and as soon as I turn off the breakers, the battery drops down to 56%. And I turn it back on, and as you see on the bottom here of these charge controllers, see if I can zoom in there, it's like a little caution sign there. Mine is off right now, okay? There's no problems right here. You can see the top two are working. The top one tells you what mode it's in, whether it's float mode, bulk, or whatever. But anyways, like I said, those codes came on, so I looked up what the code was. It gives you a number. I look up what the code was. It tells me an overcurrent. So I'm like, overcurrent. So I start shutting things down. I start checking things out here. And I get down to this fuse right over here. So I'm checking all this out here. I really couldn't get anything reset because it wasn't connected to the battery. So I come down, like, let me try to pull the fuse and, you know, see if I can reset the charge controller by breaking battery power. So I go to pull this fuse out, and this was mounted downwards. So as you see on the top over here, you really couldn't see a lot had happened. The cover was on it. It didn't look like anything had melted down here. So anyways, I go to pull this out, and I realize that this thing is melted, you know, that it burned up and it melted down. So I actually take it off the wall. I had to take pliers to actually separate these two and snap these things apart here. So first couple things I noticed, which is what I want to point out to you guys. Okay, so one, when I cut this wire here, you can see, though this whole thing burned up, you look at the wire, look at the insulation, it heated up a tad, but the wire itself did not burn up. Okay, this fuse holder is what burned up. It melted down here right along the bottom. But again, if you notice the top part did not melt, and where I cut the wire right here, you see the wire is not melted. It did heat up, okay, and it did melt the plastic, but it did not burn the two wires here. It just melted the holder. Okay, so now it's time to diagnose what happened. You know, so instead of replacing this, I was never crazy about fuses anyways. I like breakers. You guys know I had this for quite a long time. This thing was like 10 years old. I just bought these new fuses, so I had spare fuses just in case. But also keep in mind here, which I'm not sure if you guys can see on this one over here, little difficult to see. Let me see if I can get it in the light over here. Alright, so anyways, you can see the fuse part, which on these things is this right over in here. You see this little piece of metal right up in here? That is the part that will actually pop if this thing has overcurrent. That's the part that'll melt down and it'll actually trip and pop. They all have them. You see this one has one in the dead center as well over here. Alright, so this one, a little hard to see, but one of the first things I did notice is that did not trip, that did not pop. Okay, so these are a couple good clues I'm giving you guys. The wiring did not burn up over here. The wiring did not burn up over here. Though this thing melted down completely, the fuse itself did not pop. Okay, so next to diagnose it, I ordered these two breakers here. Breakers came in, I put the breakers in, I reconnected everything. So first thing I do is I go and I check the voltage on my solar panels coming down in here, and I did this with a meter, not like this here, but this tells you what your voltage is. Okay, I'm showing 100% charge. That's your battery charge, 13.8 volts. That's what it's maintaining right now. There's no load on this thing as far as load power batteries coming right off the charge controller here. That's what that means. So what I did was I just went backwards. I should have went the other way and it would have showed you right away. Okay, so here's what we're using on amperage. Okay, so now we go backwards, and this is what my panel's putting out. 19.8 volts on this one, and as you see here, 19.7 on this one. Okay, so solar panels are good. I checked my wiring. I ohmed up my wiring. Wiring is all perfect. Breakers are fine. Keep in mind, these two breakers did not trip. Nothing heated up over at this point over here. Okay, so I established charge controllers are fine. Panels are fine. They're putting out the correct voltage. The amperage is fine and all that. So I put these new in. Now keep in mind, the wiring over here did not burn up as well. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at this thing here burned up. That's it. Okay, and the fuse did not trip. So like I said, I'm going to ask you guys, I put in these fuses over here. Before I get into that, I put in these breakers over here. I reconnected everything, and as you see, it's not very sunny outside right now, and we're not pulling a lot. Let's come back up here. 0.2 amps, 0.96, and you know, when you pull this thing out, right now what it just did is it automatically kicked in my solar, except for the fact I forgot to turn the inverter on. But it's instantaneous, okay? The transfer from the transfer switch is instantaneous swap, which is nice because nothing has to get reset. The lights don't even barely dim. You would notice it, but like I said, it doesn't go off whatsoever. It doesn't dim. Nothing goes off. Security cameras stay on. They don't have to reset. The TV stays on. Doesn't have to reset. But anyways, as you see here, now that I turn the solar on and I'm pulling a load on the house, now the solar is going up. Okay, 7, we're like 8, keeps going up. Over here, we're down at 6. Up to 9 over here. So, like I said, I connected all this. I checked everything out. So I found out that there is no problems in my system. Solar panels are perfect. Wiring is perfect. Charge controllers are perfect. Put the new breakers in, batteries. The inverter is working fine. No problem with the inverter. If you guys watched our last video when I put the transfer switch in, I did say that I was going to basically keep this thing on power saver on. So what it does is power saver on basically looks for if anything's pulling a load. Now the thing is though is I don't do that. Now I keep it turned on all the time here. That way if the power goes out, it's an instantaneous swap. I could be sitting watching TV and a storm comes by and the power goes out and I wouldn't even really realize it except for, you know, actually not for a lot. It's kind of hard to realize it's such a fast instantaneous swap here. The problem was though, if I put this on power saver off sends out a signal every 3 seconds, and the transfer switch is instantaneous. It does it right away. But with power saver on, there's that 3-second delay, and that 3-second delay is enough that it's not instant in the house. And then it does turn off the TV. The lights do go off and then back on. Refrigerator goes in the time delay and things like that there, which is, you know, pretty well what I don't want. I want an instant swap without the fridge going in the time delay. The fridge doesn't even know this happened. I could be watching TV. I don't want my TV to reset. It's all done instant. So by keeping this turned on all the time, it's pretty well instant. So I decided not to use power saver on. But like I said, guys, everything is perfect with the inverter. It's working fantastic. Batteries are fine. They're all nice and strong. You see here, it's kind of cloudy today here. We're putting more of a load on than this here, so this will jump up and down based on what the clouds are doing. But we got some pretty big rain coming in this afternoon. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to show you guys here. So everything's working perfect. So I'm going to ask you guys, like I said, what do you think happened over here? Why did this burn up? If everything's perfect in the system, obviously I'll set you off on a tip. Okay, obviously there must have been something bad in this part right over here, but why did that happen? Okay, what was bad in this part? So like I said, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm going to be making another video next week where I'm going to go through the entire system and show you guys everything, show you the different options. Like I said, this can run on power from the power company, half power, half solar, half generator, all generator, half solar, half generator. I mean, I've given myself every single option out there that I could possibly want to do here. And I'm going to break it down and show you guys exactly how I did that and how that all works. But like I said, in the meantime, comment down below, guys. Tell me, why do you think this happened? Why did this thing burn up like this? You know, what caused this to happen? You can see how this, it melted bad. This whole thing melted down and melted bad. It dropped and melted up so much here. So like I said, the whole thing burned up. But keep in mind, the wire over here is fine. Wire over here is fine. So those two did not burn up. Everything within the system is working 100% perfect. So comment down below. I'll give you guys the answer at the beginning of the next video. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, like I said, check out our stores, copy and paste our website. Our small home store has all kinds of different solar stuff and power stations and power generators. And, you know, we carry central air conditioning. We carry a whole house, big, huge, entire grid-tied systems. Solar systems and V's Cooking with Love. I mean, you name all the kinds of gadgets that we have out there. There's some really cool stuff. And again, our Etsy has a handmade category with handmade oil paintings and handmade woodworking stuff and stuff like that. Some really cool stuff. So we'll include the links, guys. Check it out. And like I said, I will give you the answer next week here when I make the other video. If you guys like what you see here, you like what you're doing, and you want to see our other videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when our next videos come out and all that. But you also help us out as well. Like I said, we have to have a certain amount of subscribers before we can get highlighted links and stuff like that as well. So it helps us out. So if you guys like what you see in here and what we do, and you know, want to help us out, then go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification buttons. Please share these videos. That helps us as well if you like this video and you want to share it with a friend. So, you know, help us out with that. And if you guys haven't seen V's Cooking with Love, we'll include a link on the bottom here. She makes YouTube videos as well. And if you guys like to eat like I do, there is some incredible recipes out there. Our chicken wing video, she made buffalo chicken wings. I don't even know if that's up to. It was well past 20,000 views. I mean, it just really, really took off. So, anyways, guys, like I said, I'll give you the answer next week. And you guys have a great day. We'll see you next week.